Welcome to part 2 of the 12 most life-altering daily habits. Now listen, if you haven't checked out part 1 yet, be sure to do that so that you get the rundown of exactly what we're talking about and you don't miss any of these habits. Here's the deal. These habits have a profound ripple effect. They'll affect your goal work. They'll affect the way that you think about yourself and the world around you, the way that you show up, and so many more things. They're incredibly far reaching. They're not super hard to do, but a lot of times they're things that we don't necessarily think about doing, or they're things that kind of take the back burner as we're focused on what we think will be the big things. These are absolutely essential to living a happy, healthy life, to accomplishing your goals, to building healthy relationships, really, literally to every single part of your life. And so, without further ado, let's get going on the top 6. Now, I told you in part 1 that number 6 is the thing that will dictate how your day goes, how your work life is, how your relationships are, how your mental health is. And number 6 is also the thing that will stave off most chronic diseases and even prevent accidents. I am not even kidding. And it is so frequently overlooked. Number 6 is the bedtime routine. Everything about your day is determined by how well you slept last night and how much you slept last night. And being able to sleep well, setting yourself up for a successful night's rest is absolutely the thing that will most impact how your day goes. When we don't get enough sleep, we have cognitive impairments, we have judgment problems, and we start having disease problems, health problems. Not getting enough sleep is linked to every disease from diabetes to heart disease to cancer. In addition, it's linked to increased car accidents, increased falls, and you're more likely to be irritable, you're less productive, you're less creative. Not getting enough sleep actually causes the same deficits as being intoxicated. All right. So, what I'm saying is, if you wouldn't show up drunk at work, you shouldn't show up at work unrested. This is a really big problem. Now, listen, I understand that if you have a new baby, you are sleep deprived. I get it. But I think it's really important to understand that when we don't have to be sleep deprived, because, for example, we're waking up with a new baby every couple hours, we need to not be. The average American is getting about 5 hours of sleep a night. Not nearly enough. I know you've all heard the 7 to 9 hour rule, and I think it's really important to point out that that 7 to 9 hours is the lowest, and that's generally for people between about 25 and 35. People older than that and younger than that need more sleep than that. Now, if your body is telling you you don't need more sleep, that's okay. Some of us actually have variations. If your body's telling you you need more sleep, that's okay too. But really listening to your body and not withholding the rest it needs is absolutely essential. Sleep is not a luxury. Creating a bedtime routine that supports sleep includes things like turning off screens within a half an hour of bedtime, making sure that you don't eat within a couple hours of bedtime, unless, of course, you have a medical reason to do so. Being careful about what kind of content you engage with so that you're not getting your brain fired up right before bed, and doing things that will help you relax. I talk a lot about a 2-part bedtime routine called reset and rest. And so in the first part, I do reset actions. And in the second part, I do things that set me up for rest, that help me unwind in my body. Now, I will be digging deep into both bedtime and morning routine in some later videos. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you have access to those, right when they come out. And I'm going to be talking a lot about bedtime and morning routines also for night owls, because I think that this is a very underserved population. I don't think that we talk about this enough. I am a night owl, so I'm going to share some of my best tips for night owls in that content as well. But just know that I'm going to dig deep on both of these routines because since they are routines, they're a little bigger, a little more complicated than just a habit. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to build that. Also, next week, I'll be talking about how to build routines in general. So, number 5 is alone time. Listen, your voice needs to be the loudest voice in your head. It's really important that you get time alone, time to observe your thoughts, time to say kind things to yourself, time to journal, time to unwind, time to not be stimulated and absorbing all of these outside things. Okay. So that means not time scrolling, not time watching TV, time alone. Now, it doesn't have to be a ton of time, it can be 5 to 10 minutes to start with. It's just important that you get it. And by the way, this is true for both introverts and extroverts. It's important for you to have that time alone. Now, some of you might be like, Cassie, I can't get that time alone. I have kids. I understand. I have 5. I get that. I think it's really important to point out that your kids need time alone too. Boredom is really good for the brain. It helps stimulate creativity and growth in parts of the brain that otherwise will not develop in the same way. In addition, it's important for your kids to know that spending time with themselves is a good thing. And it's important for them to see you doing it so that they feel as adults like that's okay, that's allowed. Let's say one of your kids ends up being a little bit more introverted or a little bit more sensory sensitive. You not setting the example that it's okay for them to have that time alone is really going to turn into a problem for them as adults. And you don't stop worrying about your kids and how they're taking care of themselves or being taken care of just because they hit 18. I know my 5 are all adults now. And sometimes I'm like, dang, I wish I had set that example for my kids so that they could give themselves that kind of grace. So get that alone time in, show your kids that that's an important part of your life, and encourage them to do it too. Number 4 is goal work. It's really important that every day we're working on something for our future selves, that we are engaging in goal or growth work. Now, this doesn't have to be a big, huge thing, and it doesn't have to be super time consuming. As a matter of fact, I highly recommend starting out really small. One of the best ways to do this is to find a supercharged habit related to your goals and start off with the very smallest part of the supercharged habit. Now, I'm talking in detail about supercharged habits in my habit masterclass. If it's before May 17th, you can still sign up for that. But if it's after May 17th, the replay is available in my inner circle. And so you can go ahead and get your hands on it there. Supercharged habits are habits that have a massive ripple effect. I tell people all the time, and I will tell you, most people don't believe this until they try it, that if you create the intention of exercising every day and you start off by simply putting on your exercise clothes and your workout shoes, within 6 months, you're much more likely to be eating healthy, getting the adequate amount of sleep, have reduced stress hormones, and hydrating and working out. And it all just starts with putting on the tennis shoes. Now, listen, you might be thinking if I force myself to go to the gym every day for 2 hours a day, that would be even better, Cassie. But what I'm going to tell you is what this is really about is how this plays out long term. We're talking about creating these foundational habits, these foundational pieces to our supercharged habits so that we really get them entrenched in our lives and we're able to maintain them. So get that goal work in, do something intentionally every day, even if it's just for a minute or 2 minutes a day, that is good for your future self, that is moving you in the direction in which you want to go. Number 3 is gratitude. Now, I told you in part 1 that I was going to get into how to make journaling really, really simple. And so I'm going to do that right here with gratitude. Writing down something you're grateful for every single day changes the way that you see the world. It makes you look for things to be grateful for. And you know that the more that we are looking for something, the more that we find it. I have this friend of mine who is really focused on abundance mentality and money, she always felt like she would always financially struggle. She always felt like she would always have problems managing money. And so she started to try to change her mindset about money by reminding herself that she had always had provision. She actually had never in her life struggled financially. I did, so I was totally blown away that she was having this issue, even though she'd never struggled financially. And so she started looking for money, looking for evidence of this. And she got a jar, and every time she found any kind of change, she would pick it up and put it in the jar. And she was just shocked by how much change she could accumulate in a week or in a month. Because once she was looking for it, she started finding it everywhere, literally everywhere. And by the way, if you haven't tried this before, try it. But gratitude works the same way. If you're looking for things that are negative, you will find them. And if you're looking for things that are positive, you will find them. It's because your brain is searching for evidence of what it already believes. And that means that when you're looking for things to be grateful for, your brain is looking for opportunities to provide gratitude for you. And you intuitively have a better sense of what is going to pay off in the gratitude department, and you're more likely to be in that place at that time to receive that. Okay. This is not some kind of woo woo concept. This is actually about how your brain is wired and how your brain directs your senses and directs your intuition and your impulse to do or not do certain things. When you're focusing on gratitude, your brain wants to engage more in things that will bring about positivity, and things to be grateful for, rewarding things in your life. You can start with writing one thing. You can do it any time of day. But here's the journal hack you need to know. Put a few Post-it notes on your mirror in your bathroom and put a pen in your toothbrush holder or in your medicine cabinet next to your toothbrush. Anytime that you go to brush your teeth, like in the morning, at night, whatever, grab a Post-it, put it down on your vanity, and write down what you're grateful for. Write down something about your day, write down an accomplishment. That is your journal. Get a shoebox, put it in your closet or in the corner of your bathroom or wherever you have room, and toss those Post-it notes in there. I don't know where we got the idea that journals need to be some, bound leather fancy thing and that they need to be organized. This is my gratitude journal. This is my accomplishment journal. This is my brain dumping journal. This is my prompted journal. This is my how is my day journal. That's a lot to keep track of. Okay. Make it super simple for yourself and give yourself credit for doing it. Just make it easy. And I promise you, over time, you will develop this habit more and more. And eventually, you may have a beautiful collection of leather bound journals. But right now, all we're going to start with is those Post-it notes and that pen. Now, number one, no, I did not skip number two. I have two number ones because I could not decide which one of these was more life altering or more important. So, number one is create an affirmation practice. Practice affirmations every single day. Affirmations are scientifically proven to rewire your brain. Okay, I'm going to say that again because I know that that's a hard thing to process. Affirmations are scientifically proven to rewire your brain. They have used MRIs to study this, and because of neuroplasticity, you can rewire your brain. And that means you can shift your negative self-talk and limiting beliefs into a wealth of incredible and amazing beliefs about yourself, where you're having empowering beliefs and positive self talk consistently. But you have to have an affirmation practice to make this happen. Now, I dig really deep into how to create an affirmation practice in my affirmation masterclass, which is in my inner circle. However, what you need to know is that if affirmations have not worked for you in the past, okay, it is because you have been misguided about what they are and how they're supposed to work, how to actually do them properly. And you may need my affirmation masterclass to help you identify where the affirmations you've been using aren't making the connection so that you can plug them in really well and actually get the benefits from the affirmations. Because I have to tell you, once you start getting these benefits, it is mind altering, mind altering. Okay. You will not believe the way that you think about yourself and think about the world in which you live. All right. So, number one, the second number one is celebrating your wins. Creating an awareness of your successes, keeping an accomplishment journal. Again, just do the Post-it note thing, just like you do with the gratitude. Keeping an accomplishment journal changes everything. Here's why. If you have ever struggled with motivation, if you have ever struggled with willpower, self-discipline, if you find that you have recurring negative self-talk or limiting beliefs, if you struggle and feel overwhelmed when you're taking on a new project, any of these things, this is the key. This is the key. This is the thing that will make you stick with it. The reason why is because when you create an awareness of your wins, you feel much more capable, much more confident, much more able to do the thing that you are setting out to do. In addition, when you write down your accomplishments on a regular basis, you actually increase dopamine production in your brain. And dopamine is what's responsible for making you feel motivated. You end up creating momentum. You feel like I've already done all these amazing things. I can do this too. And they don't even have to be amazing things, by the way. They can just be small things. Because when we're focused on our wins, again, our brain is wired to create more wins. When we're focused on our accomplishments, our brain is always looking for ways for us to accomplish things. And I have to tell you, this is the secret to waking up every single day feeling purposeful and falling asleep every single night feeling proud of yourself. And when that switch happens, there is literally nothing that you cannot do. You are absolutely amazing and you deserve the life that you've been dreaming about. And you deserve to feel amazing about yourself and to pursue the things that your dreams and goals are made of, to get those things into your life. So make sure to subscribe to this channel. I am always here helping you learn how to create healthy habits, grow to accomplish your goals, and overcome obstacles so you can upcycle your real life into your best life. All right, bye everyone.